You're not going to be a dictator, are you? I said, no, 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 other than day one.
Donald Trump has successfully moved the Overton window in a way that is as dangerous for the future of democracy in this country as anything else.
This is what Vout and Project 2025 wanted.
He's daring Tom Homan to come and arrest him. Should he do it? I would do it if I were Tom. I think it's great.
They control the Congress, they control the White House, and they control the courts. And so, of course, they're massively overreaching. And yes, they are getting away with it right now.
This is clearly a man who cannot tolerate criticism of him or what he does, which is exactly what authoritarianism is all about.
The New York Times is just as fake as CNN and MSDNC. They really are the enemy of the people.
What he is saying, rather bluntly, if you stand up to Donald Trump, he will punish you.
Protesters in Philadelphia, state capitals in California, Minnesota, Michigan, Texas, Wisconsin, Indiana, and others showed up to oppose Trump, Musk, and Project 2025.
The US and President Trump has overseen America's largest military parade in decades as nationwide protests take place against his leadership.
Demonstrations are happening right across the United States today to oppose the Trump administration.
Two visions of America. On a day the country's deepening divide was there for all the world to see.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the show, Logically Left. I'm your host, Jeff Waldorf, and new intro. So, fun times. I worked on that all day, so I guess there's not going to be shit. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding, of course. There is news that I want to talk about. We got the big nasty bill updates on that. Of course, we've got Trump versus Musk. Fun times. We have, again, a no-kidding story. Yes, the impact of Trump's immigration raids on farmers continues. Again, crops rotten in the field. All right. And then Iranian hackers having Trump's emails. A little bit of irony. So we got some fun stuff on today's show. Again, we're going to start out with this big, nasty piece of crap bill that this Republican administration is going to shove down everyone's throat. So lovely. It's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. So I'm going to talk about that. In fact, we're going to start on that. But before I get into the show, I do want to thank a couple of people who make the show possible. IOUEL, thank you for being a supporter on our YouTube membership page. You can become a YouTube member by hitting the join button below. If you're watching on YouTube, you can become a subscriber on our Twitch page or on our Facebook page. So lots of different ways that you can support us. Also, you can support us by going to patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf and signing up like Tracy Eva. Who is a new channel member, a patron. Thank you for that. The Lore Maker for signing up as a free member, because you can do that and still get access to all the stuff, because I'm trying not to paywall very important information, unlike a lot of outlets. Like, I want to make sure to get the messages out to the masses. And you can't really do that when you paywall things, but at the same time, it kind of leaves it really, really hard to make a living. So if you're, allowing everything to be free, but that's kind of the point, though, is making sure that the message is more important, but also I have to eat. So if you can support us, if you can afford to do so, throw a couple of bucks my way per month. I really appreciate it, because it allows me to continue to spread the message. And that's important. Dan Zier, thank you for becoming a member as well on our Patreon page, patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. That's how you can support us. Okay, anyway, with that said, let's get down to it. Start out with the big nasty bill. Oh boy. As expected, Donald Trump's big nasty bill passed the Senate and is now back on its way to the House of Representatives. Now, the vote in the Senate was deadlocked at 50-50 and was broken by Vice President J.D. Vance. So a couple of Republicans decided not to vote in favor of it. I mean, Rand Paul was one of them, but he had a problem with the bill not cutting the deficit enough. Okay, so there's that. And you know, others, of course, stood against it. But at the end of the day, it didn't really matter. Okay, House Speaker Mike Johnson celebrated this on X, formerly Twitter, and said, quote, "The House will work quickly to pass the one big, beautiful bill that enacts President Trump's full America First agenda by the 4th of July. The American people gave us a clear mandate." Oh, did they? Did they really? Because I don't see that. I don't really see it. And after 4 years of Democrat failure, we intend to deliver without delay. So, Democrat failure, which is mainly driven by the Republicans pulling out every single dirty move that they could to block anything in Biden's agenda, as well as the Supreme Court that also helped to block things like student loan debt relief, which was, again, it was $20,000 at most of student debt relief, and even that was way too far for the conservatives on the Supreme Court, which managed to, of course, kill it. And then, of course, you had members of the Democrats blocking things like, I don't know, raising the minimum wage to a living wage, you know, which, again, not even a living wage. $15 an hour is not enough to live on anymore. It should be $25 to $30 an hour minimum, because that's how much it costs, how much you need to actually live in this country now. But no, couldn't do any of that. But yes, of course, Democrat failure. Right. And the nonstop filibusters and dirty tricks from Republicans didn't have any effect on that. Right. Now, speaking of the Democrats, though, they didn't pull out any dirty tricks. Wasn't able to do a filibuster on this because of the fact that this is reconciliation. And so, they really didn't pull out any stops to fight and to stop this from happening. So there is that, and you can criticize that, criticize the Democrats for not being able to fight enough to stop this from happening. Now, that said, getting back to House Speaker Mike Johnson's statement here, he said, Republicans were elected to do exactly what this bill achieves. No, they weren't. He says, secure the border, make tax cuts permanent for the rich, unleash American energy dominance. Yeah, more like the continued dominance of the oil companies, restore peace through strength. That doesn't even make any sense. Cut wasteful spending. Really? Full of wasteful spending. And return to a government that puts Americans first. No, it puts rich people first. Again, none of that's actually true. That he said this bill is incredibly wasteful, gives money to the richest Americans, and funds the police state. Okay, this is a horrible bill. But he added, and I love this because I think you can cut some good ads on that. This bill is President Trump's agenda, and we are making it law. House Republicans are ready to finish the job and put the one big beautiful bill on President Trump's desk in time for Independence Day. We're going to finish the job. I mean, once again, they're saying it. We're going to finish the job on killing the American dream, okay, and destroying this country. But okay. I love the idea that, like, this is the MAGA bill, and this is a mandate. Is it though? Remember, when it comes to polling, right, on this bill, people were asked, hey, what do you think of the one big beautiful bill? Responses went from negative 19% approval rating to negative 29%. Okay, the people hate this bill. They hate it for many, many reasons, of course. For one, it completely decimates poor people, cutting $1.2 trillion from Medicaid and SNAP program, okay, to fund, or 1.2 or to 1.3 million, trillion from Medicaid. And of course, it helps to fund, but doesn't offset the massive tax cuts for the rich. Okay. And not only that, but it also increases taxes on the working poor. The package also imposes work requirements on able-bodied adults, including some parents and older Americans. So yeah, grandma and grandpa going back to work. It also tightens eligibility rules for safety net programs, alters federal reimbursements to the states, which raised alarm from senators from rural areas, but who still, for the most part, continue to vote for it. Look, this is going to devastate rural hospitals. In fact, Tom Tillis had warned that the bill could cause, quote, millions of people to lose access to Medicaid. Suzanne Collins also raised similar concerns and proposed increasing the rural hospital fund from $25 billion to $50 billion, funded by higher tax rates on those earning more than $25 million a year. And this is a Republican, by the way, who's like, ooh, yeah, no, let's tax rich people so that we can fund rural hospitals. We can do that, right? Well, what happened? They rejected her amendment. Because of course they did. Once again, Republicans are the party of helping rich people. Lisa Murkowski of Alaska had apparently spent more than an hour in tense discussions with Republican leadership seeking provisions to shield Alaskans from the SNAP reductions and to improve hospital reimbursements. Radio silence, she said, when asked how she planned to vote. Well, she voted for it. So, yeah, no wonder it's radio silence on that one. Look, this bill, again, this bill is an absolute disaster. It is garbage. Garbage. $4.5 trillion in tax cuts, most of which are going to help the extremely wealthy, and also provides $350 billion for border and national security. So expect more ICE raids, expect more detention centers to be built, more people dying in said detention centers, poor people dying from lack of health care. That's the reality of this bill. That's what it's gonna. That's what's gonna happen. Okay. Look, again, it's got to go through the House, and then once it gets through there, it's going to go back. It's going to go to Donald Trump. And now, of course, if they change it in the House, then they're going to have to send it back to the Senate. But again, very likely that we're going to end up with this thing being passed. So that's it. That's it. Look, this is what Republican governance looks like in action. Okay, don't listen to the things that they're saying. Look at the things that they're doing. Look at the stuff that they pass. Okay, if you hate this bill like most Americans do, and you hate what's in it, okay, and you voted for Donald Trump, guess what? This is what your vote enabled. This is what you voted for. That's it. This is the reality of what Republicans offer you. Remember, this party only exists to funnel money to the very wealthy. Now, that doesn't mean that Democrats are great either. You got Chuck Schumer, Hakeem Jeffries, Nancy Pelosi, who also work for the wealthy donors. Of course. Now, they will throw us a crumb now and then. But in reality, though, the real opposition to Trump and the GOP and their owner donors lies in people like Zoran Mamdani, AOC, Rashida Tlaib, Bernie Sanders, and other actual progressives. You know, people who are center left and further. Okay, that is who will fight hardest against not only this piece of crap legislation, but also the billionaire capture of the government that is leading us straight into fascism. Tax the rich to feed the poor is a foreign concept for MAGA Republicans. All Republicans are MAGA. And so I don't think there's really any difference. So, but yes, you are correct in the fact that they do not want to feed poor people because they want poor people to die off. That's it. That's really it. It comes down to, a social Darwinistic kind of ideology where only the strong / wealthy are fit to survive. And so that's what they should, and unless, of course, that you are able to, as a worker, contribute to the capitalist state, to the corporation, then, well, I mean, then, of course, you have a use. But if you are not, if you are someone who is disabled, if you are poor, if you are, if you are not actually giving, your labor and helping a capitalist make more money, then you are useless to them and therefore shall be discarded. You get nothing, no food, no place to live, no health care, nothing. They just want you to die. I think I'm pretty clear about that. And so are they when you look at the things that they support. Okay. Moving on. Let's go to Elon Musk versus Donald Trump. Whoa! Here we go again. Here we go again. Former First Buddy, Elon Musk, took some time out from, or had emerged from his ketamine-fueled haze to go and criticize President Donald Trump and his big nasty bill. Oh, interesting. Now, that is, of course, the massive tax cut bill that is stuffed with terrible things, like pumping up the Trump police state by providing billions and billions of dollars of funding to build more immigration jails and hire more ICE agents and all that. Again, this would be a 13-fold increase over ICE's 2024 detention budget. And that's just one of the line items in this bill. Okay, $45 billion for more immigration jails. Then $29.9 billion in funding for ICE activities. Great, like, disappearing people off the street, with their masks and plainclothes officers coming in or agents coming in and just stealing people off the street and sending them to El Salvador. Great. In addition to that, Customs and Border Protection would get $46.6 billion for border wall construction. So here we go. And more for facilities, $5 billion. Personnel, $4.1 billion. Bonuses, because of course, they're going to get them bonuses, for deporting many, many more people. And vehicles, $855 million. Now, to pay for all this, as well as Republicans' tax cuts for the rich, the bill, of course, shreds America's social safety net and massively adds to the national debt. So now, what is Elon Musk's problem with the bill? Well, he talked about apparently the debt. Oh, the debt! Of course. On Monday, he took to X and labeled this bill a debt slavery bill and promised to primary in a Republican who votes for it. In fact, he said, every member of Congress who campaigned on reducing government spending and then immediately voted for the biggest debt increase in history should hang their head in shame, and they will lose their primary next year if it is the last thing I do on this earth. Well, he would have to take out the majority of them because the vote was 50-50, and you had J.D. Vance having to break the tie. So, yes, they voted, lined up en masse to support it. So, you got your work cut out for you, Elon. Now, look, it's not shocking that he doesn't support a bill that obviously hikes the debt ceiling by trillions of dollars and rolls back clean energy credits while offering in its place tax incentives for coal. Oh, yeah, no surprise, right? Look, the Senate version of this bill totally repeals all federal subsidies to wind and solar for projects placed in service after 2027. So that would hurt Elon Musk very personally. Now, Musk, in response, said that, you know what, I'm going to build a new party. Quote, if this insane spending bill passes, and it has, the America Party will be formed the next day. Our country needs an alternative to the Democrat-Republican uniparty so that the people actually have a voice. Right. Okay, then. Sure. Now, look, this is a threat, and so Trump, of course, does not like threats. The president told NBC News that that Musk should tread with caution if he funds Democrats, which I doubt he would fund the Democrats. He just said, like, they're the uniparty. And, of course, any Democrat that accepts money from Elon Musk would be persona non grata because it turns out everybody hates Elon Musk. Okay. But nonetheless, Trump said this. He said, quote, if he does, he'll have to pay the consequences for that. He'll have to pay very serious consequences if he does that. Really? Consequences? Oh, now it's getting serious. You got the president that is threatening consequences against Elon Musk. Well, what kind?
If Russia or China or any other country has those emails,
We might have to put Doge on Elon. You know what Doge is? Doge is the monster that might have to go back and eat Elon. Wouldn't that be terrible? He gets a lot of subsidies, Peter.
Yes, we might have to stick Doge on Elon. He was also asked, by the way, we might have to take a look at deporting Elon Musk when he was asked about that. So, okay, fun. Look, here's the thing. It's not like Trump wouldn't or couldn't deport Elon Musk. I mean, the Supreme Court has already ruled against having nationwide injunctions that affect his executive orders, which would allow, of course, Trump to continue to, issue illegal orders. I mean, it's not like he's not immune. He has immunity, okay, for official acts. And so, he could issue an illegal executive order deporting Elon Musk for whatever reason, or just strip his, naturalization from him. And you can't hold him accountable. Can't do it. So now, of course, Musk could fight back in the courts, but that would be expensive, time consuming. And again, without the ability for courts to do nationwide injunctions, district courts, it would be Elon Musk that would be affected by this. And so I'm pretty sure Musk wouldn't want to go through any of that, even though he'd probably win his case personally, but it would be a pain in the ass. There's a lot that Donald Trump could do if he wants to make Musk's life very difficult. And I think they both know that. So, and of course, that would be, extremely ironic if he did use all those tools and actually went after Elon Musk. But understand, though, that if it does happen, it would be the natural progression of what happens to people who tie themselves to Donald Trump. He will inevitably turn on you once he is done with you. This is extremely predictable, and I'm not sure how anybody missed it. I mean, look, Donald Trump's in it for himself. He has always been. And look, Trump wants the tax cuts, of course, but he also wants the increased powers the bill will likely give him, especially against the federal court system. Everything about this bill is extremely awful. The social safety net cuts, the ICE funding, all of it. And so, look, that said, I do not welcome Elon Musk as an ally against this or Trump. He is not our friend. Elon Musk not our friend. And I doubt he will follow through on any of his threats. I mean, come on. Don't get any ideas, Democrats, of trying to appeal to this guy just because they're fighting. No. If anything, I would just sit back and watch them tear each other apart. That's really the best option here. So, grab the popcorn and watch them fight. Okay? Yes, we're going to go back to let them fight. Let them fight. Okay, and there you go. Let's see here. LF says, big nasty bill sounds dud. Trump's murder bill. I like big nasty bill better because it's big and nasty, kind of like Trump. But to each their own. Each their own. Let's see. Moving on here, let's go to the effect of ICE raids. That's always fun. Watch the Democrats try rehabilitating Musk just like they rehabilitated Bush Jr. and Dick Cheney. Oh, it was, what was it? There was a video of Obama and W together criticizing the end of U.S. aid. Oh, great. So, yeah, we've done that. Rehabilitated Bush Jr., which is probably one of the reasons that we're in this mess. I mean, the Bush tax cuts, which are now permanent, thanks to Trump, and, creating this massive debt. And then, of course, you had the housing crisis at the end of W's term. Again, a result of deregulation pushed by the Republicans, by George W. Bush, and, of course, the two unfunded wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. And so all of that stuff has actually led to Trump, and of course, part of what actually also led to Donald Trump is, look, the presidency of Barack Obama. Not only did racists lose their shit, okay, over that whole thing of black man getting elected president, but from a progressive perspective, remember, Obama ran on hope and change. We got no hope and no change. Okay, very, very little. We got the Heritage Foundation healthcare plan in the ACA, which, yes, has helped people, but it's nowhere near as expansive as it should have been. It should have been a single payer or at least a public option. We got neither of those. And now the Medicaid expansion, which arguably is one of the best parts of the ACA, well, that's, if this big nasty bill goes through, that is going to be absolutely just shredded. So there you are. And so, yes, you had that hope and change that didn't turn out to be hope and change. A lot of people very, very upset about that, which, of course, I think had a hand in leading people to vote a fascist. So there you go. Okay. All right. Moving on. I know I went into a little bit of a tangent there, so apologies on that one. Okay. In what shouldn't be a surprise to hear, ICE raids targeting undocumented immigrants have led to massive disruptions in farming that now have crops literally rotting in the fields in states like California, Texas, Florida, and Pennsylvania. Because, of course.
Oh, no!
Farm owners and industry representatives reported that up to 70% of their workers stopped reporting to work following immigration and customs enforcement actions, which resulted in significant crop losses and financial strain for those farmers. In fact, according to Alexandra Sosa, CEO of Farm Worker and Landscaper Advocacy Project, said, "We do not have enough workforce in the United States to do manual work, to do those jobs that other people are not qualified to do or do not want to do it. For example, we are running into a problem where we do not have enough farm workers to grow the food we eat every day." Yeah, I mean, it seems like a problem at a time when inflation is also a big problem, where things get more scarce. It's go no. Again, sounds like a problem here, but it's not just about produce either. Remember, she added that we do not have enough workers to go to the meatpacking processing industries and factories to pack the food that we are eating. So again, this doesn't just affect the farmers, but again, you have the meatpacking industry and all these other industries that are also reliant on immigrant labor. And there it is. So look, the people who had no idea where their food came from or who did the work to actually bring it to the grocery stores, those people didn't realize that, maybe I should not have voted for the mass deportation candidate, because it turns out we are now finding out. Yeah. Oops. Newsweek reports that the labor shortage has drawn criticism from business leaders and renewed debate over the need for immigration and visa system reform. Bit late on that one. A bit late. And you know what that would mean, by the way? You know what that would look like right now in order to stop these losses? It would be amnesty. Yes, that's right, amnesty. And the Republican Party of today and the Republican president, I can guarantee they will not be doing amnesty. Okay, not going to happen. So then who's going to do the work then? Well, not legal immigrants here on H-1Bs. That's for the tech industry, obviously. Now, there are farm worker visas, H-2As, but I doubt the people who would be working in the fields for poor wages, would want to or would even be able to afford to apply for the H-2A farm, agricultural work visas. So there's that. Okay. It's not looking good. All right. Okay, but what about Americans? Surely Americans can do the jobs, right? Well, yeah, they could. But once again, the terrible pay and the awful working conditions mean that they will not. So it's looking like, as a result of all this, food is about to get a lot more expensive. Now, of course, the response to that, oh yeah, well, what about the people on welfare then? We'll just make them do it. Here's the thing, people on welfare and Medicaid already work. About 64% of all Medicaid recipients work either full or part-time. The rest are elderly, disabled, or are caregivers. Now, as for SNAP, which, by the way, benefits farmers as well, about half of all the non-disabled adults on food assistance work, and usually are only on the program for short amounts of time, because they usually will get jobs elsewhere. So as for everyone else on the SNAP program, 2/3 of participants are kids, elderly, and people with disabilities. So that's kind of out. The reality is there are just not going to be enough people to replace all the agricultural workers that no longer are showing up to work. And look, research from Oxford Economics stated that native-born workers are very unlikely to replace all the lost immigrant labor, as their employment patterns differ significantly. And so, look, the reality is about half of the nation's agricultural workforce that's in the country without legal status. Okay, again, if you deport all those people, you're not going to have enough people to replace them. Now, this is a problem that Congress could have solved by passing legislation, but guess what? Republicans would have rather have done racism, which is what they did. Republicans wanted to do racism so they could win elections. And guess what? That effort has borne fruit, except that fruit is rotten. It is rotten just like what's in the farmers' fields right now. So congratulations. Okay. Producers have warned that continued labor disruptions could affect the food supply chain, drive up costs for consumers, and force farms to shut down or automate more quickly. So, hey, well, there you go. Automation. Yep, that's probably going to be either automation or sending the kids, making the kids go back into the fields. So I could definitely see more child labor happening as a result of this, which again, we already have states that have loosened child labor laws. So that's probably what's next. That said, the Pennsylvania Farm Bureau, which represents over 25,000 members, cautioned that instability in farm labor threatens both food affordability and availability nationwide. Similar labor shortages also hit the Rio Grande Valley in Texas, where reports detailed entire farms left empty for days. Official statistics showed that up to 75% of farm workers did not report for duty in some regions after ICE enforcement. Alexandra Sosa told Newsweek it's affecting the economy of the whole country, and people who used to pay taxes and contribute to the economy now are in deportation centers. Whereas Frank Knapp, managing director of the Secure Growth Alliance, told Newsweek, clearly farmers who depend on undocumented labor, which is most of them, are suffering and losing money. The harmful consequences to the economy and food supply are obvious. No business should be given such life and death control over its employees. Plus, there should be no favorite industry regarding immigration enforcement. All small business owners suffer financially when their employees are taken or too scared to come to work. They all suffer financially when immigrants stop spending money in their local communities. Look, this is what we said was going to happen. We said it was going to happen. Trump said, I'm going to do mass deportations. We're going to get rid of all the immigrants, all the illegal immigrants. And now it's happening. Yeah. The only ones walking around here with surprised Pikachu face are the farmers that voted for Donald Trump. They're now shocked and chagrined that ICE came for their workforce. Oh my God, I didn't think it was going to happen. Really? What the hell did you expect? What did you expect? Were you voted for? Did you think that the politicians who lie to you all the time? Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Politicians do lie. They lie a lot, especially Donald Trump, who lied just about everything. Okay. Yes. What did you think though that this one, that we're gonna do mass deportation? You think that was a lie? You think he wasn't being honest about that? I mean, how stupid are you? Pretty stupid. Pretty stupid. From my perspective, y'all are idiots. Okay? You didn't see this one coming, even though that was what was promised. And now you're like, oh my God, I can't believe my farm, we're ruined. My workforce didn't show up. And I know to the people who are like, well, why did you hire American? Why did you hire all these illegals? Because that's the only people who are willing to do your crappy jobs. Yes, the only people who are willing to do this incredibly difficult, labor-intensive, and I've done this work before, so I can tell you it's hard. It is hard work for very, very little pay. What did you expect was going to happen when you took those hardworking people and sent them to El Salvador, okay? Sent them back to their war-torn countries? What did you think was going to happen? Well, this is what was going to happen. So I don't know what is going to happen in the future, other than, of course, prices going up. They're going to try to find some way to replace that labor. And of course, that's probably going to end up being very, I don't know, slave-like. Because that's the children, yes, probably prisoners. So, you'll have, prison labor coming in to solve, this crisis that Trump supporters created. I don't know. I could definitely see it happening. But once again, you voted for this, you asked for this, and guess what? You got the day that you voted for. Okay. They didn't consider what that would possibly entail. Yeah, a lot of them, I guess, didn't. I don't know. Okay, here's a dystopian thought. States confiscate bankrupt farms and prison labor works them. Or, it doesn't even have to be the state. It would just be these large corporations coming in or private equity coming up and buying these things, these farms, once they go out of business. I could see that. Big farming companies, corporations, gobbling them all up. And then, oh, look, we've got 3 corporations that own the entire U.S. food supply. Boy, that's not a good thing. Not a good thing at all. Okay. Last story for y'all. In what could be described as a little bit of karma coming back, we have an Iranian hacker group that is threatening to release a batch of emails it claims to have stolen from President Donald Trump's campaign. So his longtime aides, including advisor Roger Stone and White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles, are among the people that apparently had their emails stolen by this group. Reuters reported on Monday that a cyber attack group that hacked the president's campaign claimed it at roughly 100 gigabytes of emails that it could leak. 100 gigabytes. That is thousands of emails. Oh, well, there you go. Now, the hackers operating under the pseudonym Robert. Okay, sure. They did not provide any information about the content of the emails or when or if they plan to release them, according to the news agency. The group previously released some of them in the lead up to the presidential election last year, which obviously didn't have much of an effect. In online chats with Reuters, they said that they had also had emails from the accounts of Trump attorney Lindsay Halligan and Stormy Daniels. Now, do they actually have it? Is this boasting or whatever? Or do they actually have this stuff? Turns out, yes, they do. Reuters authenticated some of the materials from the previous leak, which included emails from accounts, including that of Wiles before being sent out to journalists. In fact, one of the emails had detailed a financial arrangement between the Trump campaign and attorneys representing RFK Jr. This was before Trump picked him for health secretary. So yes, these were verified. Okay. Now, another email had discussed settlement negotiations with Stormy Daniels. Now, again, why did that? Okay. Why did this come out during the election? Well, I think the answer is pretty obvious. Iran didn't want Donald Trump to become president. I mean, it's pretty simple, right? It's kind of like how the Russians did not want Hillary Clinton to become president. And so they stole her emails and then they released them. Okay, gave them to WikiLeaks, and WikiLeaks released some of those emails. All right. Now, it's kind of funny because here you have the shoe on the proverbial other foot. Now, that said, once again, Trump still won the election, obviously. Well, at least he's president now. And so I mean, after that happened, after the election result, the hacker group had been like, well, I guess there's really no point to releasing any more of these emails. I guess we're just going to sit on him because what's the point? He already won. However, that has changed since Donald Trump bombed Iran. So he kind of invited this whole thing by attacking Iran's nuclear facilities. Now, he had claimed, of course, strikes had led to a total obliteration of the nuclear facilities. That's not true. In fact, the head of the UN nuclear watchdog said on Sunday that the attacks fell short of destroying Tehran's nuclear program and said that the country could enrich uranium again in a matter of months. Now, yeah, they could. But once again, this is to help their domestic energy program. They weren't actually building nuclear weapons or enriching uranium to the incredibly high bar that you need it for weapons grade. Okay. So now, that said, Robert wanted said that they wanted Reuters to broadcast this matter. Consider it broadcast. Okay. Consider it broadcast, Robert. That said, the Trump administration, obviously, they're not thrilled about this. CISA spokesperson Marcy McCarthy said in a statement posted to X, quote, "A hostile foreign adversary is threatening to illegally exploit purportedly stolen and unverified," some of it was verified, material in an effort to distract, discredit, and divide. This so-called cyber attack is nothing more than digital propaganda, and the targets are no coincidence. Okay, hold on there. Hold on. That reaction right there means they got something. They got something that is apparently scaring the administration. I mean, come on. So-called cyber attack, digital propaganda. No, that some of the stuff had been previously verified. So, yeah, they got stuff. They got something. Now, I don't know what they have. I'd be interested to find out. Now, CISA has warned that these criminals will be found and they will be brought to justice. Let this be a warning to others. There will be no refuge, tolerance, or leniency for these actions. Now, FBI Director Kash Patel also warned in a statement to Reuters, anyone associated with any kind of breach of national security will be fully investigated and prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Here's the irony. Trump, remember Trump asking for Russia to release the stolen emails that they took from Hillary Clinton. You remember this?
If Russia or China or any other country has those emails, I mean, to be honest with you, I'd love to see them. Russia, if you're listening, I hope you're able to find the 30,000 emails that are missing. I think you will probably be rewarded mightily by our press.
Huh. Yeah, turnabout is fair play. Okay. Yes, so he asked the Russians, hey, why don't you release those emails? Well, Iran, anytime now. Okay, if you got them, go ahead. Look, if they do end up releasing some of these emails, I still don't think it's going to matter. I mean, the election's already over. No Trump supporter is going to give it crap, okay? Now, even if it contains an email from Donald Trump to one of his aides being like, oh, my supporters are all dumb, they're idiots, dummies, rubes, marks, inbred hicks. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You know, whatever. They're just going to call it fake news and immediately forget about it afterwards. Just saying. Still, I wouldn't be opposed to seeing them if the hackers decide to release them. Because even though that the election is over, who knows what kind of fun and interesting things those communications might reveal. So, hey, ball's in your court. All right. there it is. That's the show today. Sorry, it's a little short. I spent way too much time making that intro. I'm being honest about that. But hey, it was worth it. It's a good intro. Anyway, look, everybody, thank you for watching. Please like and share the stream. Helps me out greatly. Consider signing up to become a channel supporter, all that wonderful stuff. Oh, okay. Soul Life points out something interesting. Look how much more energetic and less maniacally sinister he sounded back then. Yeah, I mean, what a difference, right? What a difference. Yeah. Look, there's definitely some cognitive impairment going on here. Over the years, like, it's gotten to him. Okay, a man could barely say a full sentence. Okay, barely even makes sense anymore, as if he ever really did. But worse now than he was. Which, again, back then he was more energetic, and he did make a little bit more sense. But now, far worse. So there's something going on there mentally. I don't think he's all there. I don't think he's all there at all. Okay.
I'm cognitively there.
No, you're not.
Person, woman, man, camera, TV.
Don't know what it is, but there is something wrong with that man. Or there's a lot wrong with that man, not just something. But anyway, big balls in their court. Yeah, that's a good one. I like that.
Testicles.
Had to.
Tighten up my meat. I like my meat tight.
Now I'm just being absolutely ridiculous. But okay. Anyway, how are they going to arrest someone in Iran? Asks Progressively Independent. Yeah, that's good question. Good question. That's going to be very interesting to figure that one out. Alcatraz is the ultimate. Yes, the ultimate in something. Let's see. I like watching him on stage and spotting when he goes off the prompter in weaves. Weaves. Sorry, you can tell when he switches back and forth. Yeah, that's fair. Conservatives, step 1, do a white supremacy. Step 2, I don't know, whatever. That's a good one. See. All right. That's it, though. Thank you for all of the comments here. Very entertaining comments. I have the best audience in the world online. And I would like to continue to grow the audience as well. So, it would be nice to please like and share the stream if you haven't already. That said, thank you all for joining. Thank you all for watching. Love you all. And remember, change begins with you. Good night, everybody. And we will see you back here. Not here, actually. I'll be doing my stream on thisspace.tv. So come check me out there on their YouTube channel for the show. It's YouTube, thisspace.tv. All right, everybody. We'll see you there tomorrow.